Pop quiz, hotshot.
Hello, Buford.
There's a bomb on a bus. Once the...
You one ugly mother...
10 sequels to classic childhood movies that lost their biggest star and suffered without him. Some movies are so iconic it's hard to imagine them without their biggest star. But Hollywood has a way of pushing forward, even when the lead actor says, no thanks. Today we're diving into 10 sequels that lost their biggest movie star, and let's just say most of them didn't go so well. From Speed 2 losing Keanu Reeves to Teen Wolf 2 without Michael J. Fox. Some of these films bombed, some barely survived, and a few should never have been made at all. Let's get to it. First with Predator. Released in the summer of 1987, Predator was a big hit. A sequel was planned, but due to an alleged salary dispute, Dutch, aka Arnold Schwarzenegger, refused to return to the 1990 follow-up. Upon release, Predator 2 received generally negative reviews and earned a moderate box office return, grossing $57 million worldwide compared to the previous film's $98 million gross on a much smaller budget. Number 2, Teen Wolf 2. Michael J. Fox had no interest in reprising his role from Teen Wolf in 1985, since he had already become an A-list movie star thanks to Back to the Future, and maybe because he read the terrible script.
Damn beer, can't you get that through your thick skull?
Give me a keg of beer.
Come on, I haven't got all day.
I'd like to change some classes.
Anyway, the Wolfie sequel starred Jason Bateman as Scott Howard's cousin, but it was nowhere near as successful. Plus, they replaced Styles with this guy. That ain't Styles.
Pop quiz, hotshot.
What happens when Keanu Reeves refuses to board the sequel to Speed? You get Speed 2, Cruise Control, and it's exactly as bad as the title would suggest.
It's gonna blow! It's gonna blow! Jump, fool! Get off that thing! Oh, they can hold their breath a long time. Come on, don't run out of air.
Me not see them. Me think they dead. They gone.
They're not gone.
Keanu became a major action star after Speed, but he turned down the sequel, citing the script's lack of...
All time is Speed. Why did you turn down Speed 2?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. And Speed 2, yeah, at the time, I just, I didn't respond to the script. I really wanted to work with Sandra Bullock, and I just, you know, I really loved playing Jack Traven. Oh. You know, I love Speed, and it was like, okay, a bus, okay, we're going, but now it's on an ocean liner. Yeah.
Quality. He wasn't keen on the idea of a runaway cruise ship, I suppose. Sandra Bullock did return, but Reeves' character was replaced by a new lead played by Jason Patric, and the film sunk. Number 4 on the list is Hannibal, the Silence of the Lambs sequel. Jodie Foster officially turned down the role of Clarice Starling in Hannibal because of reported scheduling conflicts, directing another film at the time called Flora Plum, which never got made. She ultimately admitted later that the character was so sacred to her that she didn't want to risk tarnishing it. As a result, Julianne Moore replaced Foster for the sequel. It wasn't nearly as iconic as the original, and I actually thought it was kind of bad.
Hi. What's that?
This? That I don't think you would like.
It looks good.
So, which would you like to try? Me. It is important, she always used to say, always to try new things. Open
up. Next is Smokey and the Bandit Part 3. With Burt Reynolds missing, the plot of the film revolves instead around Jackie Gleason's character, Sheriff Buford T. Justice, Smokey. The bandit is still in this film, although he's being impersonated by his buddy Cletus, aka Snowman, played by actor Jerry Reed. Now, Burt Reynolds opted to sit this film out to do a similar movie, Stroker Ace, although he did appear in a bizarre cameo at the end of the film.
Back and don't move a muscle. Hello, Buford. Well, call me with my pants down.
Reviews of Smokey and the Bandit Part 3 were resoundingly negative, and the film was a box office disaster, earning only $7 million. Number 6 is Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd. Neither Jim Carrey nor Jeff Daniels wanted anything to do with this 2003 prequel sequel to Dumb and Dumber. It ended up being a critical and financial disaster. Although Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels did return to a proper sequel in 2014, which opened at number 1 and grossed nearly $170 million worldwide. Speaking of prequels that flopped, the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. John Goodman and Rick Moranis, Fred and Barney, they were major reasons why the 1994 Flintstones film worked, but neither returned for the 2000 prequel. So the film recast the characters with Mark Addy and Stephen Baldwin, and the film flopped. Grease 2. Perhaps since both John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John became major stars after the original Grease in 1978, neither wanted to return for the sequel, sensing it didn't have the magical feel of the original probably. Instead, the film starred Maxwell Caulfield and Michelle Pfeiffer, and it bombed at the box office. Number 9 on this list is Caddyshack II. Bill Murray, who played the groundskeeper, apparently wanted nothing to do with the Caddyshack sequel. Rodney Dangerfield, sensing the film would be bad, dropped out just before production got underway, a move that triggered a $2 million lawsuit from Warner Brothers. Turns out Dangerfield's instincts were correct. Caddyshack 2 was a big disappointment at the box office. Fans and critics hated it, and the golf sequel is considered one of the worst Part 2 films. One of the worst sequels ever made. One of the worst comedy sequels of the 80s, possibly of all time. Finally, we'll talk Linda Hamilton not wanting to come back for Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. While Arnold is clearly the face of the Terminator franchise, Linda Hamilton, who plays Sarah Connor, is definitely the MVP, especially after her career-defining badass performance in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. But after reading the script to the 2003 threequel, where Sarah Connor was allegedly set to die halfway through the movie, Hamilton declined to return, reportedly feeling that the character of Sarah Connor had already completed her story arc, especially following the events of Terminator 2. Couple that with director James Cameron also stepping away, and it's no surprise that Rise of the Machines made less money than its predecessor and was not nearly as well received by fans nor critics. And there you have it, 10 sequels to hit films from the 80s and 90s that lost their big star and suffered for it. So which of these movies do you remember? You think any of them worked without the original lead? Let me know in the comments and follow me for more nostalgic movie and TV content.